Haley's house this morning.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, they kind of got that thing going this morning. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what,
she almost pulled that off last night.
Well, she really did.
I mean, she did win, but I mean, she almost pulled it off without having to have a runoff.
That's right. Yes.
That's.
She and Gresham Barrett not going to go at it again for a couple of more weeks.
Yeah, Gresham said don't count him out. He said, anybody don't count me out. He said
he's in it to win it.
He's in it to win it.
Well, that's all he can say.
Yeah, what else are you going to say?
No, I'm going to go ahead and give it to her.
Yeah. For the unity of the party, I'm just going to go ahead and give it to her.
Did you guys see? I didn't see yet this morning. Did Bill Salisbury win corner?
I didn't see.
Because that was the one I was following, and then I just
because he came over at your house.
Well, he sent somebody over.
Oh, plus, specifically?
Yeah, and he's the one that looks most like Coroner. I mean, have you seen his pictures when you're driving around?
I don't.
He looks like a coroner.
Does he?
And the other guy, he just looked too happy. I mean, it looked like he.
Coroner shouldn't be happy.
Coroner, no.
No,
Coroner should be eerie.
Hmm.
And that's
just
like
silly.
Like Quincy.
No, Quincy was a medical examiner. There's a difference. Medical examiner, they have some.
They got to be a doctor and all.
Yeah, coroner. I mean, he can just work at a gas station.
Yeah.
Go, I'm gonna poke this guy with a stick. He's dead. Let's head on to Pappy's.
Why do they have that? Looks like they just let the medical examiner be the coroner.
Well, I think the coroner's job is kind of to be the liaison between the police department and the family. They're the ones that notify. So
I mean, my dad was a coroner, but he's also the medical examiner.
Yeah, and the mayor and the city.
This is a small
pass or wherever the hell you're from.
Well, anyway, I don't know whether Salisbury won or not. You'll have to check and see.
I'm gonna check that out.
The I guess the other closest one was that Berkeley County supervisor race.
Ooh, what was that?
Yeah, that was.
I think it was like
between
2% or 2 votes or something like that. I mean, it was down to.
Minnie Blackwell take it.
A handful. No, I don't think she's in the runoff.
No, she's not in the runoff.
Okay, it's Brown and Davis.
Brown and Davis, but I think it was like neck and neck.
Yeah, it was very, very. I think like both of them had 49% or something like that.
So they'll have a runoff.
They were honestly 2 votes separated them.
2 votes. Yeah. And the oddest vote of the night, and I'm just trying to find out a little bit about who this guy is. This unemployed veteran who beat Vic Rawl for the Democratic race to take on Jim DeMint. This is a guy that nobody ever heard of. I was just reading the story. They said it's odd. They said he showed up. He's 32 years old. His name's Alvin Green. Recently got out of the Army. He's unemployed, lives with his dad in rural Clarendon County. Showed up at the Democratic Party headquarters in March, wanting to file to run for U.S. Senate. He had a personal check with him for $10,400 to pay the filing fee. They told him he couldn't take a personal check, had to be from a campaign account. So he went to the bank and opened a campaign account and brought him another check back and handed him a check for $10,400 so he could run against Jim DeMint.
So that's how much it costs to run?
Mm-hmm. That's just to get your name on the list. And then you got other stuff you got to do, which apparently he hasn't done. They say he has not filed with the Secretary of State, according to the Washington, D.C. office, to run for U.S. Senate. Hasn't filed any disclosure reports with the Federal Election Commission, which is required by law. Had no campaign signs printed, which apparently is something you have to do by law. I don't know, but he didn't have any campaign signs littering the public right-of-ways.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't show up for the South Carolina Democratic Party convention in April, and the only time anybody's seen him was when somebody called to ask him how the campaign was going. He said, "So good, so far so good."
But yet he won this thing?
And he won this thing.
What's his last name?
His name is Green, Alvin Green. They call him the Phantom Candidate.
He's from Manning.
They're trying to figure out exactly where the guy came from. They say he obviously doesn't. He said he saved the money up while he was in the Army. He saved up $10,400 while he was in the Army to run for Senate when he got out. But that's all he's got. I mean, he has nothing else.
That must be why he didn't put any signs up.
I guess he spent it all on the filing fee.
I can't believe it costs so much to file.
There's talk of trying to figure out, who was he given the money by somebody to run just to mess up, the other side, so that there would be no competition, even though Jim DeMint's not going to get beat by anybody.
Right.
I mean, he didn't even run. I don't think he even printed any signs, did he? Did you see a DeMint sign? Because he was gone most of the election, campaigning for other folks around the country.
Well, no Republican ran against him, right?
No, nobody. They said
him to campaign hard, but I did see a few DeMint signs around.
Just to act like he was running.
I think he probably just threw some up he had from the last
because he's heard us
election.
talk about Glenn McConnell. He didn't want us talking about him that way. Because I've never seen a Glenn McConnell sign. Have
I've
you?
never seen Glenn McConnell on the ballot.
But he keeps getting elected.
Not even a sign.
Yeah.
I've never seen him on the ballot. I've never voted for Glenn McConnell. I would, but I never have.
So they're just trying to figure out why anybody would take their only money that they saved while they were in the Army and put it into a filing fee to run against the guy that they weren't going to run against and have no chance of winning against. Nobody can figure, and nobody can find a guy.
Yeah.
Well, they're just trying to figure this one out
right now.
Yeah, no. I'm sure they must.
Okay.
To let him know he won. He beat Vic Rawl.
Yeah. Who is a name? I mean,
who is a name? Yeah, he's a judge, a legislator, and so I don't know.
Well, we know him locally, but this was a statewide thing, so this was from everywhere. My theory on that is, for folks that didn't know the name, they voted alphabetically. Because there were some cases yesterday where I didn't know anybody in the particular category, so I just voted for the first one. And I bet a lot of people did that.
No.
I don't think so.
I think they count on that.
You knew... Well,
I know.
I
didn't. I just
fair.
didn't vote.
It's
I
fair.
didn't vote in the ones.
So you didn't vote? I thought you had to.
If I don't know anybody, I don't vote for anybody.
Was there anybody that you didn't know yesterday? And
there were a couple of cases. There were a couple of. I just didn't vote because I didn't care or I didn't know.
Okay.
And if I didn't know who anybody was, I don't vote just to vote. I got to know who you are.
Oh, I did it like an exam.
Just take the first one.
Unless.
Or D. I'll take
that one.
D. All the above.
Let me tell you, I knew the important ones, like coroner.
Right.
I knew who I was going in for that one, and I knew who I was going to vote for governor. He didn't win.
And I wrote in Gutea King on a couple of them. Yeah. He didn't show up. Apparently, I was the only one voted for him. I don't know.
That's when the bells and whistles started going off on the machine.
Said, excuse me, sir, do you mind stepping out of the booth? Please step out of the booth. Put your hands on the back of your head.
Play Palmetto Cash 5 Monday through Saturday. Power up for an extra $1, and you could multiply your winnings up to $500,000. Odds of winning $500,000 are 1 in 8,031,072.
Doing okay on the interstate, 25 minutes.